evening, good afternoon, wherever you find yourselves in this weird, wild, wacky world of ours, and welcome to another exciting installment of Darkness in Dublin. This evening's scene is set just outside Dublin city centre proper. The gaudy exterior of the Temple of a Thousand Happinesses blinks with dozens of lights. As you proceed towards it, those of you making the trek will be assaulted by neon lights, will be assaulted by the smell of buffet style Asian food and the innocuous noises of high pitched racist voices that shout words like, "You the lucky winner!" Why someone of Eastern spirituality would deign to live here is frankly beyond any of you. It is a gaudy, rakshas ruin. However, here is where the Akashics make their home. You will enter the foyer. I tell you what, we will go via Bob. You will already be in the foyer. You are currently asking why in the name of God they turned the adult channels on in your hotel room suite. It may or may not have been the cat. He may think that you need to, detense.
All right, look at this list. Does this sound anything like what you could even gather about me? Look,
I mean, sir, I'm not going to say that you look like someone who would enjoy pool halls 5, but I'm not judging you, sir.
in fact, all of these involve a body of water of some kind.
I mean, you can be into that kind of stuff, sir. I'm not judging.
More than half of these feature that pool. The pool.
Sir, once again, the fact that you're actually reciting plot elements from these things makes me think you've watched them.
I can't figure out how to change the channel.
We can send someone up to show you, sir.
It's just stuck there. And it's stuck on.
I have to ask, sir, how many times have you seen Pool Halls 4?
Several.
Oh.
It's boring at this point.
Ah, okay. Alright, so we're going to do a soft intro, which means people may intro as they see fit, with the exception of Marcus, who I will do later. Continue.
Presumably Morgan has been walking here from the cathedral. Probably with Glasspaw in close tow, because as soon as she spotted him, she was going to give him the little finger cook of, like, get your ass over, come here.
Yeah, he will look at her, give a heavy sigh, put up a finger, drink some coffee, pull up the laptop, go to her. Yes?
Right, so, yeah, and as they've been walking, I'm just going to get this conversation out of the way here so we don't have to do a separate scene. So, you can still go in that fucking place, can't you?
Yep.
I need head counts.
What?
I want to know how many of these Lamentor motherfuckers are in that cathedral.
That's...
Because this guy, she, like, waggles the bowl, like, or holds it up kind of so he can see it with the nail still through it. Because this motherfucker, he wasn't a joke.
What does means that? I have no idea.
This belongs to an archmage that I was hanging out with yesterday.
I assume he's dead.
I mean, that would be the general assumption when something that belonged to him is nailed to the cathedral door in a big show of fuck you. He went in to negotiate the release of the choristers who were being held there before the mystic traditions decided to go siege engine style. So, they don't seem to have responded nicely to the advice.
The thing is that they know I'm a chorist. I am affiliated with the choristers in some way. But I have ways to get in there. I have my drones.
All right. Well, I suggest not making them hella magical if you're going to go rooting around. But
oh no! They are plain. They are plain as unsalted butter.
Blanks.
He just shakes his head. They are not that easy to, being caught by not magical means or magical means actually.
Good. I want to know how many people are stacked up in there, both on their side, and I want to know how many fucking people they have hostage, if you can get that far.
if I can get that far before it's my own, I will sure to pass on the information to you.
Good man. Gives him, the little bit too heavy clap on the back of the shoulder,
Yeah. He spits a little bit of coffee.
Good man. Well, so seeing as this Nightingale fella was, if I remember what I heard right, was Sideshow's teacher. You might want to keep an eye on the splash zone. I'm gonna go make someone really mad. Smile. Keeps walking until they get to this place.
Yep.
So yeah, in theory, they will be walking into this wonderful establishment together.
I'm sorry, sir, but honestly, we can't refund it once it's been watched several times. I've made it abundantly clear.
Fine. Just figure out how to turn it off.
I mean, have you tried using the remote control?
Yes.
Are you sure, sir?
Yeah, yes, I pushed the buttons. Nothing happened.
Wait, which remote control did you use? Because you do have remote controls in order to set the heating and close the drapes in your room. You do know that, don't you, sir?
Wait, there's more than one. There's more than one?
Yes, sir. They're clearly marked and labeled.
That explains some things.
Oh, I'm pleased to be of help, sir.
Okay. Well, just don't allow any more of those to get ordered.
Right, so you want me to put a ban on your account as it pertains to adult entertainment, sir?
Yes.
And yes, she of course says that loud enough for Morgan to hear.
I both are hearing this.
Excellent.
And you know what? Following that line will be like, "Hey, broody guy."
So you're into these kind of weird kings, huh?
Not
And-
my best moment. What do you two want?
And Kevin can see Glasspot tapping something in his laptop, like tap, 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 tap.
All right, before we get into the meat and the potatoes, if other people would like to come in, they can.
Sweet. Well, Yuki. Heather, do you want to have him come in? Ah, well, I guess Lottie will wander in by herself. Be like, I've never been to this casino. Just wandering, be like, oh, it's so shiny. Wait, hey, I know those people. She'll wave. Hi.
Hello?
Aha.
Ah,
Hey,
people
hon.
can hear me now.
I'm
Yes,
sorry.
we can
I'm
hear you.
Sorry. Sir. I can credit your account if you'd like for those adult movies. If you'd like, maybe try something from the children's selection.
Look, I'll handle the bill later.
Oh, of course, sir.
I'll handle the bill, and you know what? Yeah, maybe I'll watch like something else.
Wonderful.
What are you watching?
Don't worry about that.
Peers over. What are you watching?
He was watching porn.
Ooh, was it good? Was it
A
bad?
series of technical difficulties occurred between me, apparently multiple remote controls, and the television. Okay.
Dude,
There's an
come on,
eyebrow quirk to the side. Are you surprised about anyone watching porn, really?
dude, you know you can hit a brother to sip you out with the good stuff for free.
Please.
Just come on.
Look, I've been through a lot today. Okay.
This is why
And some
people
of
use
it
porn.
was pornographic and things I wish I could unsee. I'm
I'm not
porn
sure. I can
traumatized.
Okay, right. And he will give side eye to Morgan and go like, what kind of porn he must be watching if he's traumatized?
I really
If it helps,
don't assume it's any of my business.
Oh, sir, it looks as though you didn't watch Pool Whores too. I can deduct that from your account.
Thank you.
Twin
Hey.
Horse 2. Okay, tap tap tap.
Oh boy.
Could we not? It's not like you don't watch porn. Side eyes.
Hey,
Yeah, I've seen that one. It's a good one.
I keep my privates.
And this is the point in time where Yuki catches back up to Lottie. Because, yeah.
Hey, Lottie. Hey, you.
There
Hey.
is now a growing mass of you
Glass
surrounding
bomb.
me and my apparent newfound porn history. What are you here for?
Oh, I need to
Don't
talk
look
to
at you,
whoever
you-
the fuck the big high muckety muck is.
Okay, please don't refer to him like that.
I'm not planning
I'm
to do
in-
that in his presence. That would
I'm
be
in-
rude.
danger of just beginning to like you. Don't fuck this up for me.
Okay, fine. I need to see SciShow. Come on.
How
Where
about
do
the
I
rest
need to
of you?
go?
What are the rest of you here for?
The same as her. And he waves at you.
Coincidentally.
And he waves at you and goes like, I thought I left you in a safe place. What are you doing here?
She wanted to come here. And she'll point at Lottie.
God damn it, woman.
This isn't the kind of place where you just send in, no offense, someone like her without someone who has a basic knowledge of the etiquette this kind of guy responds to.
All right, Miss Kamara.
I would like to
well
feel
taken.
offended, but you know what?
Okay, so you all are going to follow me, all right?
Mhm.
And we're gonna have a short talk, and then you're gonna follow me some more.
Okay,
Very well.
So everyone's following me now.
Right?
got it.
And as Glasspaw
In
seems
actions
that
or just
following
in direction?
in
And
everything.
he will lead them
Everything?
to one of the VIP rooms. All right, so I know
Lottie
where
will-
most of you are from. You, Lottie, organization.
I'm technically the head of the Ecstatics.
Okay,
We are going to
that
see
will
Sideshow,
help.
the great Sideshow the Monk.
So here's what is going to happen. I
Mm-hmm.
am going to go in ahead of you. I'm going to see if he is even taking an audience today.
Oh, I'll take an audience for this.
There have been noises in the inner chamber. They have been bad noises, which is why I was in the outer area. So we're going to see if he is willing to take an audience. At which point, I will bring you all in. You will stand in a neat little row, and with a bow, a deep bow, you will formally introduce yourselves in quiet, demure voices, and not speak out of turn or scream things at him. Otherwise, I can't be held fucking responsible. I mean, I'll lose a finger, but otherwise cannot be held responsible for what happens.
This guy is that big of a deal?
He is a very
two-finger
big deal.
salute. I mean,
Yes,
even
yes,
if he
he
wasn't,
is.
if he has the power to make you regret it if you don't do the polite thing, wouldn't you just want to do the polite thing? Putting it out
Good
there.
point. Good point. I will do the polite thing.
Okay.
Pat, pat.
With
So now we're all going to follow me to the next stage of this. And he will lead them further to the edge of the doors that separate SciShow's Grand Hall from the rest of the
Okay.
building.
In order to move forward, what will happen is you guys will come to what looks to be a very traditional set of Japanese Hananoke wood doors that will be slid across, at which point you will see two women kneeling on the ground very politely, at which point they will look up at you and they will bow very deeply. They won't look you in the eye, but they will present you all with basically a rather decorative kimono-like bathroom and direct you towards changing rooms.
Blink.
very
We'll
well.
thank them and change.
Yep, same. But I'm still taking my
Ditto.
laptop with me.
Okay. If you attempt to go beyond them with any items that are electrical or metal in nature, they will very politely raise a hand and ask that you please leave them in your storage locker that you were provided when you entered.
They are telling me to discard my PC in the locker.
Yes.
I assume that
he
means
will,
they also don't want me wearing my necklace.
he will
No,
sigh.
the necklace they're okay with.
Okay.
He will leave the PC, the drone, the cell phone, the other cell phone.
I like to think that, you know how there's that wonderful movie where people are just taking off guns off themselves? I like to think he's just taking off phones and beepers and
Oh,
pagers.
yeah, he's taking cell phones and thumb drives and all that kind of shit. And
I mean,
he will
it's the same.
he will shake the thermos of coffee and look at them. This is
I
fine.
feel like there's that point, like in Pirates of the Caribbean, where he stops and he's like, "Okay, see, I'm done." And they look at him and he's like,
Wait.
"Fine," and unstraps like 2 more.
Basically.
So, you guys will then be led through another much larger room. It's a large ovular room that at the other end has a pair of large golden double doors. In this room, you'll see a number of very heavily tattooed Asian men and women reclining in steaming baths that are just below level of sight. Sorry, that are just below level of a walkway that skirts across the room proper. Many of them look up at you as you enter. Some of them half rise, but then they decide better against it. At this point, Owen, how's it going, Owen?
Hey.
I'm fine.
Owen, you've just had a lovely conversation with Lord Sideshow. He has agreed to recognize your neutrality, and you even played a game of Pai Gow.
The first round, I lost 10 grand.
As you step through the door, however, at the end of your meeting, you will be greeted by a vast array of chucklefucks, who all appear to be marching towards the door with intent.
What's funny, the thing you notice about Owen does not have one of those robes on.
Mr. Kilkenny?
Show us this. She's for later or something.
I'm not 100% sure, but I still have to follow protocol.
You understand what happens if you take them in there and they run off with the mouth all sideways and reckless, yeah?
They lose lives, I lose a finger. Maybe 2.
Why
He
did
looks
step
down
up
the
there?
line.
Ooh, sorry.
Owen, or sorry, Kevin, you will step inside in order to make sure he is granting audiences, etc. Marcus, the one thing of interest you will notice, and your resonance will immediately pick up on this immediately. It has a very kind of calming resonance of a teacher, of a mentor. As Morgan has a bowl held in her hands that has a very obvious hole smashed through its center.
Oh no, the nail's still in it.
Oh, okay, the nail's still in it. With the Cantonese kanji for harmony. You saw that bowl yesterday.
You're not going to go do what I think you're going to do, are you?
Just keeping people in the loop.
That's not exactly how it works, especially in this situation.
Well, I will either regret it or I won't.
Or you could speak to someone what knows how this is supposed to work so you don't get your head smashed in.
I do prefer keeping my head.
And
You know a better way?
Seeing as how your mom would remove my soul if I mess this up, yeah, I think I should help you, yeah.
What do you suggest, Owen?
Or I suggest you not present what you're going to present to him like that is right there.
Does it seem aggressive?
That seems dismissive of the importance of what you're about to do.
If we hide it away, he'll think we're trying to hide something nefarious. How do we present it then?
First and
She's
foremost,
just looking at
never
Lottie like, what the fuck?
Sorry. I'm trying to make sure none of us die.
First
By
and
all means, go
foremost-
ahead.
First and foremost, never assume you know what Lord Sideshow's thinking because he's an alien. He don't exactly think like a person. Only person who's got a chance to know what he thinks is her, Morgan.
What?
Both of you got the same problem then. Heritage, you know. Lord Sideshow.
As you
Yes,
say, Lord
yes.
Sideshow, a dozen or so men rise out of the bath, and you hear the shing as knives are drawn.
I love
Really?
when I do that bit.
You're
See?
advising
That's
against
what-
not being inflammatory, and then you do that? Really?
That's not inflammatory. You always jump to conclusions. You've got a problem with that. Yeah, you should calm down.
It's like lazy side eye. She doesn't look that agitated.
Is Kevin like in the door getting ready to get his announce on?
I mean, like Kevin's already in there requesting the audience.
Basically, he is currently occupied drinking tea, and he said he will see them when he is done drinking tea. On a side note, I am going to go to the bathroom, so I'll be back in a few moments.
Because apparently he's been drinking tea also.
Very well, Lord Sideshow. And Kevin comes back out. Lord Sideshow will see you when he has finished his tea.
Oh, I would love a cup of tea.
No, you wouldn't. No, definitely
Right.
not.
Why are people roused behind you? What is going on?
That's because I said his name and I didn't say the whole thing. I wanted to illustrate how little slips can get us in a bit of Barney, is all.
Please don't antagonize his subordinates.
Hadn't planned on it. However, you have yourself a bit of a problem.
Yes?
You've got to get this lot ready to present something that's not going to make him happy.
Which is, and as he scans the group.
Yeah, Morgan's still just holding it in her hands, kind of cupped between them.
And
We're going to need a bit of white silk. We're going to need a bit of white silk and some
Suppose you want me to
other.
pull the nail out of it and all too.
No.
Yes.
I would leave the nail in. And he will look at Morgan and with a very stone face goes like, I wouldn't touch that nail if the Lamenters have touched it before. I did it. And he will raise up a palm, and you can see that the head of a nail is imprinted on it, like the skin was burned by being in touch with extreme cold. And he was like, I touched a nail like that a while ago, and this still hurts.
The
There's
nose
his
wrinkle.
left tit. What the hell?
Personally, I would have used black, but white silk can be acquired.
Yeah, she's just kind of glancing between Owen and Kevin at this point because they seem to know what the fuck they're talking about.
He scratches
Okay,
his
here's the
chin.
thing. It's that sort of procession that you're about to do. It's about to be real deep and stuff. And if you mess this up, he's going to take it personal.
Morgan, you know another reason why he might take it extra personal. If you wish to tell him the reason, it may affect how they view things.
Yeah, she kind of glances down at the bowl and glances up to him and kind of thinks about it for a second. I imagine this is already going to be personal.
For what reason?
This Nightingale wasn't Hisaisho's teacher.
White silk.
This is
Yes.
bad.
I know where to find white silk. I'll be right back.
I feel like this is kind of inherently personal.
Well,
I will point out, Evan made a slight error for you, Morgan, because this is also very important. The term you would use as teacher, the term Sideshow would use as Sifu.
Yeah, okay. Feel free to assume that she supplied that term instead, since I imagine this. I mean, she's got the eidetic memory. So if that is the term she learned for it, that is the term she will say.
Mm-hmm.
As you purify yourself in some way or manner before we go in there, before you touched all the stuff then?
I mean, I walked up to the door and wrenched it the hell out and came straight here.
Oh, that's what you did then. Oh, okay then. Well, I suppose we can do quick and dirty purification. Seeing as how, here's the situation as we know it. He gets all conspirational. I can't say the word. It's long. And he says,
Conspiratorial?
that's it. That's the one. He knows what you're going to tell him already. He's hoping you tell it to him the right way. So he doesn't have to do what he doesn't really feel like doing. which is why you got all the grace period with the tea and all. Because they've already told him what you're going to tell him.
So let's skip to the part where you tell me how to do it right.
When he comes back with the show, I will. And you need a bath.
A bath?
A
Like right
bath?
now.
There's a right over there.
Kevin has returned with the silk.
Kevin, we really need to take a bath before meeting the gentleman, the high gentleman on the other room.
It's a formality.
Very well, I will take the bath.
So it's
You
might
know
be the
that
last one
Otis
some of
is
you
in a
ever
suit.
have.
He's not wearing any of that stuff.
No, he has been depleted of everything technological, and he's
Look, just
deeply sad.
faces and hands. He's not going to see more than your faces and hands. Maybe the back of your neck.
All
It's
right.
not an arduous process.
Okay, and he will go clean the hands, clean the face, clean both sides, clean the back. Even he will clean the feet just in case, because he knows that he should not wear shoes inside if the room is tatami.
And he very simply goes, very simple thing is, don't say nothing. Just give it to him in the silk. It'll tell him what he wants to know.
All right. And yeah, Morgan gets bustled off to wash her face and hands. She will even at some point probably she'll pull the eye patch off, keep her eyes shut, wash her face thoroughly before putting the eye patch back on. But I don't know where we're going, so it's very possible that if we are all hand and face washing together, they will see that there is to all appearances, a functional eye under there, but she keeps it shut.
Here's the thing. The only person of station here is you.
What?
This is a
Does it-
conversation. This is a conversation among equals. It is, and the only people as equals, even kinda sorta, is you and he.
But I'm not supposed to talk.
You don't have to say a thing. You just have to present it.
Is there a proper way to present it if this
No.
is all about formalities?
No, you've already done everything.
Okay.
Here's what you've done by bringing this lot in. You are extending your protection to these people, saying
What?
that anything. Yes, you've already done it. You brought them in here with you.
Hey, I brought that one. She points over to fucking Ghost Paw.
Glass away.
Yes, doesn't really matter. It's a formality, just like always. Now, you are what you are. He is what he is. It's the same thing. Kind of, sort of. It's levels. Now, the other thing that he is what Lottie is.
Eyebrow.
Two faces he's got. He's one thing and he's another thing. It's not important. You go, you present your thing. He will accept it. He will gain the knowledge that he needs. He will not be allowed to react in front of you. However, any business that you have with him that don't have anything to do with that, I get it over with before I brought that in.
This is the only business I have.
Then you should be fine.
All right.
If he asked you anything, it means he can't glean something. And trust me, he's not going to ask you anything. But he may say some stuff. The things he says afterwards, I'll pay close attention to. And you lot should be prepared to go in there with her as her entourage post-presentation.
Understood, Owen.
She's just kind of nodding along okay.
Copy that.
Me, I'm not welcome.
At this point, the large golden doors will very slowly start to open. Continue.
Morgan, do you have a full name?
No?
Very well. And Kevin will step in.
If it helps, I am one of the heads of the Verbena now, if that's part of the thing.
And bow.
All right, for those of you who have never been in the sanctum before, you will see that it is a large circular room, in the center of which there is a private bath that sinks into the ground that can be stepped into. In that bathtub, there are currently two rather attractive young ladies who are entirely naked, and they are looking up at you rather intently. Does anyone have any relevant sights currently activated?
Nope.
Nope.
None here.
Okay, they are just ordinary people. There is a huge statue of a golden dragon, curled and coiled, a lung of ancient stature and size, that is that is placed directly behind a high-backed chair in which the figure sits. In the dragon's mouth, there is a sword with a black saya and a black kaizan, which is the handle of a katana. And other than that, it is inlaid with silver filigree that seems to almost have been woven from purest moonlight itself. He will look at you very impassionately, his face a porcelain marble of white as you enter. The room itself is pleasant. It is decorated extravagantly. All around the walls there are Japanese wood carvings of brave samurai fighting battles and courtly love scenes. This room cost a fortune to create in the way that it is. However, everything is simply just so. As you stand, however, he will rise. And for the record, Marcus, you didn't think he was going to stand up. You will notice his eyes narrow as he points a single finger down the room, bulleting at Yuki. And he will say in Japanese, does anyone here speak Japanese?
I
No.
think it's just me.
You dare bring this a scion of an Akuma into my home. He is very upset. By Saisho standards, he snapped.
Yuki will relay the gist of it to whoever is standing closest to her.
Miss Kimura, we are leaving. I will
Lottie.
show you the door now.
Understood.
He will hold up a hand and he will shake a finger and he will say, "She remains," in English.
Yes, Lord Saisho.
Take her elsewhere. I will deal with her later.
Understood. And he will take Yuki by an arm, and she can just hear him murmuring as they walk off. There's my fucking pinky.
Meanwhile,
He will
a little-
he will slowly sink back into his chair, and then he will offer a very slight seated bow towards Morgan.
and for what it's worth, a little ding thing pops up over Morgan's head that's plus 10 relationship points. But yeah, she will, as that is hashed out, and she's kind of pitching a that happened expression. We'll turn back, and as she is bowed to, we'll echo the bow, probably trying to give about the same level, probably erring on the side of a little lower of a bow
Okay.
in return.
What do Glasspaw and Lottie do?
Glasspaw is remaining like he does the bow, like he's looking straight to the ground, bowing until he's given the order to, stand back at his regular position. He's showing an extreme amount of respect to Lord Saisho.
Indeed, that is exactly what Lottie's doing. She's bowing and staying until she's told that she can risen. She kind of like sneaks an eye while she's lowering to like watch Glasspaw because she feels like you probably know more than I do right now.
Marcus, do you leave as you now have the option, or do you come back into the room? Marcus. Marcus. Daylight come and Marcus want to go home. Okay. Anyway, it's okay. He will kind of make a very slight gesture with his hand, as it is intimating you may both rise.
Rising.
Hang on, Marcus, are you there? I thought that showed up as you. I mean,
I think it's just ambient noise.
ah. Okay. All right. He will look down at Morgan, like his eyes will lock with hers. He has brilliant black eyes, like as in he has whites to his eyes, but he has no color to his eyes. They are entirely black.
All things considered, she will take the gesture for a moment. She's got this little bundle of white silk, but seeing as she is being granted direct eye contact, she will actually reach up. And I assume she's standing a bit ahead of the other two, but she will go ahead and reach up and snag the eye patch and just pull it off over her head in a simple, smooth, practiced motion.
He won't flinch or make any kind of facial movement as the eye is revealed to him. He will look her up and down. For those of you who've ever seen a predator looking at what they believe to be another predator, that is the look he gives her. But it is very cool and very polite, almost reptilian. That was Marcus. Are you now there?
One moment. Yes, I'm here. What's up?
We were wondering if you came back in the room or if you didn't.
He stood outside.
The doors remain open, which intimates he wants this to be semi-public if you wish to come back in.
He will
He
come
didn't
in
have
at
the
that
doors
point.
closed. Sorry, what was that, dude?
He'll step inside in like the back of the room.
Okay. Sideshow will look down at Morgan and he will kind of quirk an eyebrow very slightly as he will say, "A host's duties. May I offer you or your servants tea?"
I would be happy to accept your hospitality.
It is granted then. He will snap a finger. The two women who are occupying the pool, or the it's not a pool, it's a bath, will nod in perfect unison before they will stand up and climb free. They are both naked as the day they were born. They are both incredibly beautiful, perfectly shaped, bodies that men would lust for, covered in tattoos from head to foot. And they will start padding towards the, there's a small area where there is tea and other libations in the room, and they will start to prepare them. Very important question. Do either or any of your eyes linger on them for long?
Nope.
No.
I'm
Nope.
too scared of this.
Focus on the person in charge.
I imagine there is the tiniest flicker because there's motion,
Mm-hmm.
but no
I mean,
lingering looking.
The question was more so if you're actively staring in desire or actively kind of gawking. Inwardly, Owen is saying, good, my Padawans.
Lottie's got staying alive, stuck in her head.
Actually, I have a question. Is he holding eye contact the whole time?
Yes, he has.
There's not even a flicker.
He has not even blinked.
She is not going to be the first one to break eye contact then. She doesn't even flicker a glance.
Okay, then. Tea will be brought. He will not say another word unless you actually actively converse with him until tea is brought.
Nope, she will stand there and politely wait.
You will be presented tea first, as the woman will kneel on bended knee. She will offer the tea up in both hands to you, so that it is roughly at the height wherein you would have to take it. So it would be roughly at the height of your hand.
Yep, and she will just, there's the slightest shift of the hand, and she will just gingerly take it from the offered hands.
She will then proceed to offer tea to both of the servants.
Yeah, Glasper will take the tea and give the servant girl a small bow.
There will be a momentary wrinkle of his nose. It's almost hard. Morgan sees it because she's looking straight at him.
Okay.
Lottie
Glasper
will.
just enjoying his
Sorry.
tea then.
Lottie
Important
will.
question. Sorry, continue, Maya.
I was just gonna say, where Gaspar does the bow, Lottie will take the tea and give them a very small kind of like smile, but like the kind of smile where you're in customer service and you have a tyrant of a boss and you can't talk. You just give that like, I know how
that-
you feel smile, just like, but it's a very quick kind of gesturing of like the corners of her lips, and then like.
And if nothing else, Morgan will make sure that she takes a sip of her tea before the other two
I was just about to
have
ask
the opportunity.
who sips their tea first.
Nope.
Nope. No, Morgan will make sure that she takes the polite sip as soon as it's offered, because that is how you do. And that way it also kind of cuts that off because, yeah, she got hers first, so they wouldn't have even had the opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Another one of the servants, one of them serves you, the other will walk to him and kneel with a silver tray in their hand, and he will take a sip of the tea he has offered before placing it down. She will continue to kneel there without moving a single muscle. I have not met you. I apologize, but it would appear as though the individual to whom I would ask for formal introductions has stepped away. Mr. Kilkenny, would you please serve the purpose?
Sure. Appellations is you looking to be presented with? Unearthly ones.
Sorry, what was that, Meg? She kind of broke right up halfway through the sentence.
He goes, sure, I will, my lord. However, do you want the appellations or the unearthly ones?
The earthly appellations will be fine.
Good then. Of note, and of only so you have the head of the cult of ecstasy in this city. And Mina.
I see.
Are they important anymore? I think you can.
He will look at Lottie and he will ever so slightly incline his head.
Lottie will do a very straight bow of the head, slightly of the shoulders as well, but not moving too much so as not to disrespect the head of her group. Just smooth.
I am pleased that the cult of ecstasy were able to cope with the debilitation of their last master, whom is ever in my prayers for his recovery.
She'll look at him for a moment and kind of think whether or not she should talk and be like, we thank you, we too have him in our prayers and hope that in his deed we can have something for him to come back to that he would be proud of.
An admirable sentiment. My apologies. You wish to make me an offering. I have been lax in my securities.
And here's a question. Does somebody move to come and retrieve the thing from Morgan? Because she is not going to immediately start striding. There is a very good chance that one of the women will be expected to come collect it from her.
If it hadn't been wrapped in white silk, they would have.
Ahaha. Then yeah, in light of the fact that there's not immediately, because these chicks know their shit and are in motion before people can even think. So as none of them move forward, Morgan will perhaps glance aside long enough to see if she can get one of them to take the tea from her, because she doesn't want to be holding it as she goes to make this gesture.
They will, without looking up, bow their head very deeply, pressing it to the floor, before they will indeed rise up and take the teacup from you.
Yep. She will hand that very casually off, and then affix her gaze again on Saisho and begin moving forward, just at a I mean, you have to kind of take shorter steps in a kimono if you don't want,
You're not actually in a full kimono. You're in more of a bathrobe than anything else, because it was designed so that you could easily slink it off over your shoulders if you choose to bathe.
Oh, well, very well. Then she's got a little more room to take bigger strides, but she'll casually stride up and will offer out this silk-wrapped bundle. Present it in, upturns hands.
He will take it with one hand. You will notice, and this is more for Max, that he doesn't play the game of refusals with it.
He's got good sense.
Beg your pardon?
He's got good sense.
Mm-hmm. Before he will place it on the arm of his chair, and very gently, using very deft movements of his hands, he will unwrap the bundle.
And she will, once it's been taken from her palms, will take a step or two back, give some personal space.
He will look down at the bowl. Would anyone like to make a perception empathy roll?
Yes.
I'm gonna throw my tiny dice pool so hard.
I can do a straight perception because I have no empathy.
Glasspaw, no.
You are a virtual adept. Fuck people.
Basically.
Give me a sec.
Tiny dice pools are so good to me.
Oh my god, did you succeed hilariously again?
I got 3 out of 3.
I botch.
Damn.
You know what? He's so happy you should totally crack a joke right now.
yeah, but I won't.
It was a botch, dude. That's what you think.
Oh, good point.
I mean, it's a botch, but at the same time, if it seems like there's never a point where a joke is appropriate.
Yeah. That's the thing. I'm waiting for him.
That's fair. I'm not going to be that dick.
No. I will crack the joke.
Right.
I'm just waiting for the previous step, so where I can get my ass kicked.
Oh God.
Burn to willpower. Technically, I've got 3.
All right.
Thank you, willpower.
He only got 1 success in his. Wow, he has a massive pool for this. Oh well. Methuselah's curse. Something behind that mask broke.
Jesus.
As in, no, as in something broke. As in, you saw the moment when it broke. It was literally like pottery shattering against a wall. He will hold the ball in his hands, and he will look up. Where did you find this?
Nailed to the door of the cathedral. And pardon, we'll name the cathedral because
St. Patrick's Cathedral.
Yeah. Nailed to the door of St. Patrick's Cathedral.
He stands up with the bowl still in his hands. You will see he will walk down from the dais where he was seated. You will see he will walk into the center in full clothing of his
No.
bath.
Oh no. Lottie's got that oh no face.
While he is moving, Morgan will move back towards the other two, and if Glasspog has like any real especially stupid look on his face, is gonna like kind of do the fucking glare. And actually, yeah, by the way, since she's turned around, that's what's under the eye patch.
Oh,
Oh.
Glaspo has the face of I'm waiting for my moment to shine, and then he sees the eyes and goes like,
Nope.
Gets the most
And-
intensive glare of like whatever you're thinking, you better stop fucking thinking it.
he will just look at Morgan's red eye and go like, I have some choleria for you after this, and he
No, really important. Did you talk?
to Morgan, yes, very like a whisper, but yes, I show when he's
Two- no,
ungodly.
The two women will hiss like actual
Oh.
snakes.
Oh, okay, and he immediately shuts up.
Yeah, Morgan just raises a finger to her lips and turns back around to regard what's going on with this man in the pool in his ludicrously many-layered kimono.
Lottie's just standing there, just like, mm-mm.
You will see him reach his hand up. His hand is very pale, like the rest of him. It's got long fingernails. You will see him place the bowl in the pool itself before you will see him withdraw the nail. You will then see him. You will see, and this is very uncharacteristic for people like to make a perception alertness roll, difficulty 7, needing 2 successes.
Okay.
Alright.
Can we assume
Perception
that by now Kevin is back so he can see some of the cool shit going on?
Yep, Kevin can return. You have ensconced someone in room to be dealt with later.
Okie dokie.
You will be
Probably
just
during the
entering room.
hissing.
And sorry,
Yes,
what are we rolling
you,
again?
You will enter just as you hear them hiss like snakes. Perception alertness, difficulty 7, requiring 2 successes.
I have.
Lottie doesn't see shit.
Nope.
Blast Ball sees it. I'm waiting for Marcus, and I'm waiting for Kat, and I'm waiting for Bob.
Perk alert.
Perk alert.
Oh.
Oh yeah, Bob sees it. Oh shit. Marcus sees it as well. All right. For those of you who got 2 or more successes, a single teardrop falls down his cheek.
Oh.
You will see him hold up the. You'll see him hold up the nail, and the doors that Kevin probably closed when he entered fly open. As a matter of fact, they fly open so quickly the doors shatter.
Oh no.
And you'll see dozens of men outside, men and women jump out of the baths. And you'll see them they immediately look angry or concerned, but then when they see what's going on, they kind of look genuinely frightened. You will see Saisho take the nail in one of his hands and drive it through his other hand.
Quick question, Evan. It does the same freezy thing that it did to me?
No.
Oh.
You will, however, see black blood ooze from his wound. The blood is as black as pitch. At which point, for those of you who are still in the room, because those outside couldn't see it from their angle, you will see the pool that he is in start to swirl and churn as it itself turns black.
Lottie's gonna look at Morgan concerned and just be like, gesture. Is this part of the plan? Not saying anything, but like the gesture.
Yeah, no, for what it's worth, Morgan, once she's returned to her starting point, is, you can see even from behind her, she's got her head canted towards this, and she is not moving, she's not flinching, she is just watching. You can almost like imagine that, like, if she could, her ears would perk up. She's kind of got her attention locked on. But no, she is completely unwavering.
He will withdraw the knife. He will withdraw the. He will
Nail.
withdraw the whatchamacallit. He will withdraw the nail from his hand in a sickening sound. He doesn't appear to register the pain. Oh, sorry, what were you saying, Bob?
I didn't say nothing.
I thought you said something. My apologies.
Nope.
And he will hold up the bloodied hand to those people outside. He will then open his mouth and flick his wrists to the side. As he does so, the sword that is located there flies into his hand, and he wraps his bloodied hand around the Saya. He will then look back up, he will then look back up with the sword in his hand and crane his neck back so he's looking at the ceiling. At which point you guys will hear an unearthly scream. A scream that rends through places, through dimensions of anger and rage. All of you will take a single point of aggravated damage.
Oh,
As you
good. That
feel-
that makes
as you-
me have 2 ags on me.
As you literally feel, how to explain it? In that one moment, you were touched by the very chill of the grave itself. That moment when death greets you, it holds out its hand to take you to the next world. However, you were able to pull yourself back from the brink. But you felt it. You felt it in the deepest extents of your being. The water he is standing in becomes smoke. It becomes dark, rolling smoke, but it doesn't cause you to cough. It's almost like mist. Black tears streak his face as he starts to simply walk from the room, the sword in his hand.
Hey, Evan,
Yes?
at this point, Owen will take his life into his own hands. And he'll look as he's getting ready to leave, as he walks past them, and then he'll simply say one phrase and one phrase only. What'd you say on that bowl again, Mike?
The figure will look at you, its head flicked to the side, almost preternaturally, and it will say in a grinding voice that sounds like bones rubbing together. It sounds like bones shattering as they're rubbed together. Oh, yes. And I will bring harmony, peace and silence that is harmony. Also, Marcus, you suddenly become horribly aware Saisho's not home anymore.
Oh, he's fully embraced that other half of him?
A little bit.
at this point, there's really nothing else to say when the half god is gone. Oh, half goddy. There's really no negotiation at this point.
He'll extend his hands outwards, and you'll see the numerous people who were reclining in the bathwater, who were relaxing, who were moments ago cavorting and laughing as they do, all stand at rigid backed attention. However, they're all not themselves. Many of them are twisted. Many of them have horns and more than one eye. Single horns jut from foreheads. Twisted, horrid forms.
Can we make some cosmology rolls or spirit lore rolls or something?
Sure you can. Anyone wants to make an intelligence spirit roll or intelligence esoterica roll or an intelligence occult roll can.
Sweet.
Are they all the same diff?
They're all the same diff. They will, however, yield different answers. Let me know which people roll.
I missed it.
Maybe we roll multiple.
What are we rolling again? Sorry.
I'd like you to all roll just a single, just the highest dice of your choice, the highest pool of your choice.
So it's either spirit lore, esoterica, or occult?
Esoterica or occult, yeah.
Okay, I will roll just one dice of occult because that's all I
They
have.
will all be difficulty 7. Let me know what you guys get.
Intelligence.
It's intelligence. You don't.
It's not much better for me. I'm not a very occult man.
Can we use like mind magic and/or entropy magic to lower the difficulty of that?
Ooh,
Yes, yeah,
3.
you can
3
use entropy
successes for Lottie.
difficulty. Okay.
Nothing for another watch for Glasspaw because difficulty 7. I got 3 ones.
Glasspaw, you think you should just hide? These are clearly monsters.
Yep.
I got 1. My 1 was in an esoterica.
Lottie's was in esoterica. 3.
I'm proceeding to hide behind Morgan.
All right, I just have the 1 success from the willpower,
Go Team Pagan.
and I'm using spirit lore for my roll.
Cool. Okay, who got esoterica? Who rolled esoterica and got 1 or 2 successes?
Lottie got 3.
Marcus got
Okay.
1.
Marcus got 1. Marcus, these are definitely some kind of bound spirit entities, perhaps creatures that maybe are themselves half breeds. That wouldn't be too unusual. For Lottie and for Bob, oh Nelly, those are a bunch of Oni. Those are a bunch of bona fide sanctified Oni over there.
Concerned.
And for the spirit lore,
How many successes did you get there?
just 1.
Very much similar to what Marcus got. They're definitely half-blooded beings.
Okay.
As in, they've definitely got spirit in them.
Goodness.
Now, the voice once again sounds like it's the cracking of bones. I take their desecration, and I burn their temple to the ground.
Hey, Evan.
Yep.
Impassioned words powered by magic at this point is a bad idea, isn't it?
What do you mean?
I mean, can we talk him off the ledge at this point?
You can try. Okay, Marcus, I will be fair, and I'll give you kind of a... Saisha had very little things that humanized him, and the big thing that humanized him was just ripped away from him.
Right.
You can try.
He just said burn their temple to the ground, right?
Yes.
Yep.
What will he react if Morgan moves? Poor Glasspaw, he'll have to hide behind Lottie. If Morgan moves to stand up, kind of shoulder to shoulder.
He's much taller than he used to be. It's almost like he's grown since he walked out of the vat, but he won't appear to notice you if you do.
She will move up so that she can speak politely. Not necessarily especially quietly, but, in a conversational tone. She will make a point of standing on the side that puts the more interesting eye alongside him, so that should he